Well, clearly we've lost confidence. Certainly not having one of the best guards in the country is affecting our team. That's obvious. But I think guys are just feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders a little bit. They feel like they're letting people down. And I'm trying to get them out of that rut, and it's certainly very, very challenging. I thought they played hard. I thought they competed. But, when you take Jalen out of the lineup and you gotta be as confident as possible, and we're certainly not there yet. So we don't have a lot of time to rest. I thought we fought back, did some good things in the second half, but we just got to find a way to stop being so hard on ourselves right now and just get back to work tomorrow.
Actually, you guys started, from the jump, you guys started 1 for 12 shooting. 10 of your first 14 shots were jumpers or threes. That doesn't seem like, Jalen or not, that doesn't seem like what you guys have been trying to do all year. So why early on from the jump were you guys so out of what you guys normally want to do?
I think it was hurting us a little bit that they were playing off of Josiah and off of Donovan. And that's a bit of a challenge offensively when they're sitting in the lane off of those two guys. And so we were trying to go inside to Morris, but they were trapping him basically from the backside with either Josiah or Donovan's guy.
What was off for you guys defensively tonight?
I think everything's off for us right now. I don't think it's one thing. I think everything is off. I think our guys feel, they've lost their spirit. They feel like they're letting this amazing fan base down. Losing one of your best players, one of the best players in the league does not, we can't ignore that. So we're out of rhythm, and who knows when he'll be back. Hopefully he was a little bit closer today, but still not there. But next man up mentality.
Coach, at different points especially early on in the first half, it looked like you were trying to maybe get them to play with a little bit more pace. You talk about not having Jalen in there, but is there a tempo that you're trying to get them to get to try to maybe get close to what it would be like when Jalen's out there?
It's hard to specifically answer what the tempo is. I always want to play with pace. Obviously, offensively in the first half, we were not hitting shots. We started getting to the free throw line in the second half, which was better. Got him in the bonus. So it's hard to really say, but we always want to get the ball up the court and play with pace. But it's as I said, I think our confidence is really zapped right now, and we have to find a way to pull together and get back to having a little fun again.
Was the pace slower than what you wanted?
Well, they walk the ball up the court, so they dictate a lot of that. We had 2-3 shot clock violations, so they were taking it slow.
Early in the second half, Xavier Dussel hit 3 threes in about a minute and a half, and it just seemed like after that third one, he's doing the Michael Jordan shoulder shrug on the way down the court. But it's the first time you could see some of the players just kind of exasperated, like let down defensively. Did you sense that with these guys?
I thought he hit some ridiculous shots. So I think overall we are for sure very down on ourselves. He certainly hit some ridiculous shots, give him credit. But yeah, I think they're down. I really do. I think we've been delivered some bad luck with losing one of the best guards in the country. But nobody cares, right? Nobody wants to hear those excuses. You just got to find a way to go. So, my biggest job is going to be getting their mojo going, getting their confidence going, and certainly, but also holding them accountable to what needs to be done.
In your experience all years coaching, what do you think is most effective in that sense? Is it more so like a big game, last second shot that gets it? Is it off the court team bonding? Where do you think energy comes from?
You try not to put so much value in the result when we live in a results-based world, which is obviously normal. But you just try to get them believing. Clearly they feel as though they've squandered a great opportunity. They've been dealt with some really bad luck. But you just stay the course. This thing's all about physical and mental toughness. And, so it's not one thing. I don't think it's one specific thing. It's just getting out of your head and just pouring yourself into the team as much as you can.
Jalen close to playing tonight?
Closer. Yeah, I mean, he went through the warm-up and everything, but just didn't feel right.
So if you don't know how long he's going to be out, do you guys need to change something?
Got to look at everything. I mean, we're going to have to see how he is, and then, it's hard with all these game time decisions. We certainly don't have a lot of options. We went with Bareem at the 3, which we haven't done. That wasn't bad, but the hard part is the spacing offensively when you're not hitting shots, and Bareem is obviously not a big-time three-point threat. But we got to look at everything, for sure.
Does any of that include, I know Patinos don't necessarily play a lot of zone, but, I mean, can you start playing some more zone defense? Can you start changing?
Who said Patinos don't play a lot of zone? Where did you get that from?
You haven't played zone much this year, have you? Or last year?
I played zone in the past. I don't think it's a scheme thing. I think it is a confidence thing right now for us. I don't think we could play a 1-3-1. We could play a 2-3 zone. We could play a matchup. We could play a million different defenses. Until we get out of our heads, I don't really think it matters. I don't think that game is different if we're sitting in a Syracuse zone. Doesn't mean that we can't look at it. I think with a bigger lineup, that certainly, if House doesn't play, may be an option.
Coach, with Wyoming's, they had 11 threes tonight, and a lot of them were contested. Like you said, there were some crazy shots they made. How do you make sure your players are coming back and just really, changing that mindset, make sure they come back and aren't defeated, just kind of the overall thing?
That's what I said. I mean, it's we got to such a high early, and I kept telling my staff, like, this is too good too soon. This is too good too soon. But we're getting hit with adversity right now. We clearly have no confidence. We clearly we feel let down, and we just got to find a way to get out of it. Everybody deals with it. That's the beauty of sports. It's a great metaphor for life, and nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Your opponent's not going to feel sorry for you. So, guy hits a tough shot, play a little bit better defense, and just stay the course.
You've been passed in the standings by San Jose State, which makes Saturday's game even more important because then you have a tiebreaker on them. I mean, you talked about confidence, and you look at some of the guys on the team. Is KJ really kind of like the epitome of that? Because he's such a reliable shooter. What do you do to get a kid like him going?
I think it's swing with everybody. I don't think it's just him. I think it's everybody. I think individually, collectively, over the next 2 days, we've got to get their spirit back, and it's hard right now. But that's part of the whole building process, is going through these ups and downs. It is not going to be 14-0 and all these things. It's just not. That's not the way this thing works. And you have to find a way to just shut down a losing streak like this and get out of your head and just get over it. So it's not just one guy. It's not just KJ. I think it's everybody. And, you just got to get back to work tomorrow.